this down into like when I think of this, I think of like the external factors of like outside the school building, and then some factors that are happening internally inside the school building. So like our external environmental factors, I would have to say is parent engagement, the pandemic, poverty and violence in our community has a negative impact or has had a negative impact on our students that prevent them from reaching their highest, potential. But our internal factors, I lay a lot of weight with our teachers in terms of their growth mindset and acknowledging that students can, but not yet, versus student will never, or students will not achieve. I also think in terms of some internal factors is like teacher biases or micro disruptions within themselves that they have not faced in order to be able to psychologically prepare themselves to teach, Black and Brown and Latino children. And I would have to say, in terms of concern, um, I would have to say like just being in alignment with all, because it's a lot to manage. And there's a lot to oversee. So just making sure, ensuring that my leadership team is in alignment um with the data platforms to ensure that they are, being used appropriately. Leader, I think I would like to consistently implement, weekly uninterrupted leadership team meetings. Also, I would like to have instructional coaches and my APs develop individualized goals that are in alignment to the teachers that they are supporting in order to um, that reflects the student outcome data, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking more so along like, if I'm working or if my AP is working with, two teachers with, teacher A and teacher B, starting that coaching cycle off with a student outcome goal. So guess what? From my working with, teacher A and B, I want to increase the star data by 5% so that they're working towards some, of course, whatever their goal is, that's also shared with the teacher as well. But I think in order, like right now, I feel like a lot that we do around the data is in isolation, all depending on the category. And it's like, yo, no, it should not be in isolation. It should all, we're in this all together. Blind spots are was doing this work during the pandemic. The pandemic, allowed for many unforeseen operational factors. And when you think about staffing and call outs and vacancies and the social emotional wellness of the staff and students. So I would say working through the pandemic with unforeseen operational factors and the school community wellness, the wellness of the school community. I would say the biggest limitation of the belief system of teachers is really understanding that they are one of the main driving forces of student achievement. Um, but we have begun to overcome this hurdle through educational tactics such as, holding growth mindset, professional development trainings, being more culturally responsive, with providing that type of training and peer mentorship. As for, I believe it was innovative. When have I felt the most innovative and supportive? I would say innovation was seen when the data was supported throughout or among the whole school community by making the data, visual in classrooms and our hallways and throughout the building.